just voted America the most unhealthiest place in the world to live. They said everybody here has high cholesterol, your knees hurt, your back hurt, you got carpal tunnel syndrome, diabetes, we're all overweight, high blood pressure, and heart disease. And that's just not bad. I mean, in a country like ours, where we are so affluent, we have such good health care, something is going wrong. So before you leave out of here today, I promise you, I'm going to let you all know where we started to go wrong, and better still when I finish, what we're going to do about it. Is that good? All right, that's good. All right, let's get started. You know, being a doctor sometimes is a very noble and humbling experience, because you get all kind of patients who call them in your office and want to talk to you, and you always get that little patient. You ever had a job where you get that patient that know everything about everything and you can't tell them nothing? Well, I'm here today to straighten out a few things we need to know, because I remember one patient in particular, and you can tell that particular patient when I walk in the room. I said, "Good morning, Miss So-and-so. How you feeling today?" "I don't know." I said, "Okay, that's fine." I said, "What's bothering you today?" "I want you to find out." I said, "Oh, okay." So it goes on that little dialogue a little longer, but you know, God always got a way of busting you out when you come in, walking in pride and all this stuff. I said, well, let's just start with the history. They always told us in medical school, get the history on the person first. I said, well, let's just start with your history. You know, since you know so much and everything I try to tell us, you tell me, I already knew that. I went on the internet and I looked that up, and she did the little neck ring on me. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, let's just go into your past medical history. Have you ever had surgery? She went, yeah, I had surgery. I had a hysterectomy twice. So I said all that to say sometimes people don't understand, and that's why I love to go out and to give these types of presentations so that you'll have a good understanding, or you won't be like the patient. Sometimes we have to give bad news at a doctor's office. It's not always good news. I'm looking at one of my nurses, Rhonda, sitting there. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. And I always remember, whenever I have to give a patient bad news about their health care, guess what the first thing they do? They throw their hands up on their head. They go into the drama mode, and they always look me straight in the eye and go, oh, Dr. Walker, why did this have to happen to me? And I always ask them, well, who else you had in mind? We call them, you give them the phone number, we can get to it. So all kind of things happen at the doctor's office. I just wanted y'all to know some of those things. But the why we got to be voted the most unhealthiest, richest but most unhealthiest country in the world. Have y'all noticed that things have changed? People done changed. People mean. People rude for no reason. You speak to people in the morning, good morning. They, what's so good about it? You okay, that's just fine. Not only has the people changed, the food has changed. Nothing tastes the way it did years ago when you was growing up. I remember I come from a little town called McIntyre, Georgia. It's only 300 people. I always say it's 299 now, because I think I'm about the only one that has ever left. It's so small, they call it Jump Off Georgia. They say the bus slow down, and you jump off. So that's what you look like it. So it's a small little town. And I remember in the old days, looked like we would have these things. Everybody remember 2 for a penny cookies? I'm not trying to tell my age also. Anybody remember 2 for a penny cookies? You don't remember. She's too young, Aaron. I think I'm too young. But they would be in big jars, and they would always reach in and give you the little cookie. You were so happy. You left out there with your 2 for a penny cookies, and you was happy. Oh, they had the big dill pickles that set up on the table, and you would pick the one you want, and invariably be the one at the bottom. And he would always have to go down and rake it up. They'd be this big, this wide. Nowhere you go buy a dill pickle can you find one that tastes the way it did those many years ago. So the food, trust me, is not the same as it was when you was growing up. So not only have the food changed, the people have changed, the whole world has changed. You know, we seeing such uprising, even just in the weather. I don't ever remember these many storms and tornadoes. And every time you listen to the news and they talk about the weather, guess what the first thing they say about it? First time in history this has ever happened. First time in history this has ever happened. So things have changed. So as things change, we've got to change also. And we've got to focus in on our health care. Today I'm going to bring y'all a small, quick message of how to make your life healthier and better. All right, so how do we get there? See, before you can correct any problem, you got to know how you arrive there so you can make some changes. Well, the first way we arrived at where we are now, we turned into a nation that stopped moving. We don't like to move. We get insulted and we got to move. We get insulted and we can't find a remote control and it's right there on the table next to you. When you got to reach over there to pick it up, you get mad. You mean, who moved my remote? I keep my remote right here next to me. So all I got to do is reach down and pick it up. Do y'all know in the old days, you had to actually get up, go to a television. You have 2 channels. Now, like you had all these thousands of channels that you got now. You only had 2, and you had to get up and you had to go physically turn the channel and come back and sit down. If you want to see something else, you had to go turn again. But now televisions are so different. You can watch about 20 stations at one time. I have a pastor, she told me, she said, Dr. Walker, I've never missed none of the preachers on Sunday. I said, well, I miss some because I have some I like that come on the different channel. She said, my television, I can line them all up on the same screen and listen to them all preach at one time. I said, okay. So them just showing you how the things have really, really changed.